You're about to discover the most natural and effective way to learn to play jazz guitar. If you're like most guitarists that have tried to learn to play jazz from books, DVDs, YouTube, right, good luck with that one, or even private lessons, you've probably hit some brick walls. Am I right? It's okay. Jazz can be challenging music to learn, and if you're struggling to really get a handle on it, it's not your fault. You see, jazz guitar teachers typically fall into one of two camps. There's the academic who wants you to learn 999 chords and a different scale to play over each one, and maybe you'll get to play some jazz in a few years. And then there's the lick player who would have you throw all the scales, modes, and theory right out the window. But here's something that neither of those types of instructors will tell you. Learning to play jazz guitar using either of these traditional approaches is hard. What you need is a realistic shortcut to playing jazz. A step-by-step jazz guitar learning system that gets you speaking the language of jazz right away, without cutting out the essential musical skills and knowledge that will take your playing to the highest levels. To put it another way, you didn't learn what nouns, verbs, adjectives, and prepositions were before you learned to speak. Well, I'm about to share a proven shortcut to playing jazz guitar that will get you speaking the jazz language as naturally as a child learns to speak. A method in which theory follows practice and imitation becomes inspiration. Introducing Jazz Guitar Step by Step. Jazz Guitar Step by Step was created to teach anyone to play jazz guitar in the style of the greats, like Joe Pass and Wes Montgomery and Howard Roberts. Here's how it works. Each week we'll cover essential jazz concepts such as tonal centers, harmonized scales, chord tone playing, arpeggios, developing jazz lines and licks, solo shaping, jazz repertoire, and more. Each week you'll get access to new jazz guitar lessons that include videos, charts, notation, tab, and backing tracks. Each lesson is designed to be easily absorbed and put into practice to help you avoid information overload. Every weekly lesson includes assignments to complete, so you'll have easy to implement action steps to finish before moving on. Each lesson builds on the previous lessons, so you'll have a clear path to reaching your goals. Beginners won't get lost from the start, and I'll throw in some bonus supplemental lessons so the more experienced players will never get bored. I'm focused on helping you succeed long term. Some guitar courses pile on a bunch of information and leave you to put it all together for yourself. That isn't how things are set up at Jazz Guitar Step by Step. By giving you information in manageable pieces, you'll be more likely to actually do something with the lessons, and you'll be more likely to see real results for yourself. When you look back after each week, you'll actually be able to see your progress that you've made by putting these lessons into practice. You'll be following a systematic weekly plan of action. No more wondering where to start or what to do next. You'll learn what you need, when you need to, and you'll see the results. Each weekly lesson is designed to be to the point and immediately actionable. And you'll have immediate access to Lesson 1 when you register as a member. If you really want to play jazz guitar, I know you want a clearly organized method that follows through on the plan and gets you playing jazz ASAP. So what are you waiting for? Click the button below to become a student and a member. Your payment will be processed by PayPal, so you know it's secure. I know, you may be skeptical. Sometimes it seems like any Tom, Dick, or Harry with a guitar and a video camera teaches guitar on the internet. So let me introduce myself. I'm John Kuhns, and I created this website and the jazz guitar method you'll be learning here. I started playing guitar in 1986 and teaching professionally in 1992. Throughout the 90s, I taught thousands of private lessons at two of the most popular music stores and lesson studios in the Rochester and Finger Lakes regions of New York. Rossi Music in Canandaigua, New York, and Northfield Music in Pittsford, New York, where I worked and played with some of the best musicians around. I've studied with Georgia State University instructor of jazz studies Dave Frackenpole, Berklee College of Music professor Cheryl Bailey, and jazz guitar virtuoso Jimmy Bruno. Yeah, I was lucky enough to live less than 20 minutes from his house in the Philly suburbs. Playing and teaching guitar is my passion. And let's just say that with over 2 decades of experience, I've had a lot of time to figure out how to teach this stuff right. Now the reality is, if you were to come to my apartment in Chicago for weekly 1-hour lessons, you'd pay $60 per lesson. So, if your lessons are on Tuesdays, and there's 4 Tuesdays in March, you'd pay $240 for the month on the first Tuesday in March. And even if you were to sign up for lessons down at your local music store, you'd still pay $25 to $30 per week for half-hour lessons, over $100 per month, and $1,200 per year. The cost can be pretty steep, not to mention how inconvenient it is to drive back and forth to a teacher's studio on his or her schedule for a lesson. And I should know, I drove from Philly to Cheryl Bailey's apartment in Queens for lessons. And if you miss a lesson, you just hope that you can get a makeup so you don't lose your money. I want to keep jazz guitar step-by-step affordable and accessible for everyone. That's why each weekly lesson is just $2.30. That's right, $2.30 per lesson. Seriously, jazz guitar lessons for less than your venti coffee from Starbucks. Join Jazz Guitar Step by Step today for just $9.95 and get instant access to the first lesson. Then you'll get access to a new lesson every single week of the year for just $9.95 per month. Look at it this way. Berklee's online certificate in jazz guitar consists of just 5 12-week courses and costs $7,245. For $7,245, you could be a jazz guitar step-by-step student for over 60 years. Of course, you won't need to be. Jazz Guitar Step by Step is fully guaranteed. You can cancel at any time, and if you decide my lessons aren't for you within the first 30 days, I'll give you a full refund and we'll part as friends. All the risk is on me. Your membership to Jazz Guitar Step by Step is a no-risk and no-brainer proposition if you're really ready to play jazz guitar. So click the order button below to get instant access. You'll get your password immediately, even if it's 4 a.m. on a Sunday. Oh, there's one more thing I should tell you. A subscription to my jazz guitar lessons includes personal help from me. Each lesson has a discussion thread in which students can discuss the lesson, ask me questions, and post videos for constructive comments and feedback. Since this is a one-man show, I'll only allow as many students to join as I can give my full attention to without killing myself with 12-hour days. I'm not putting an arbitrary number on it to create scarcity, but I assure you, space is truly limited, and I reserve the right to cap the membership and start a waitlist at any time. So don't wait. Click below and get started today. I would be proud to be your jazz guitar teacher, and I look forward to seeing you inside.